Hey guys, it's Doug 18 and
Four Towers Films.
welcome to Coffee and a Chat Extended. I thought today we'd talk about something a little different.
Okay.
Well, kind of along the same lines of everything we've been talking about lately, but something that we've kind of heard rumor of. Okay, in Ontario, we started into our gradual reopening plan.
Stage two?
We're going in
stage one.
We're in stage one right now.
For about a week, well over a week.
And because our numbers have been really good, they've talked about jumping to stage two ahead of schedule.
Well, considering before they talked about stage one, and then 21 days later, which would be about July 5th, 6th.
Yeah, around this.
That they would go to stage two, and now they're talking about going in this Wednesday, so June 30th.
But we've also heard people are saying, well, because our numbers are really good,
right?
Why don't we skip
COVID numbers, by the way?
Our COVID numbers,
and
yes.
Vaccination numbers.
So we're ahead of schedule on the graph of what our province wants to have done in our state.
Just Ontario, not all of Canada. Alberta's pretty much already opened.
Yeah.
Quebec is pretty much already opening. We actually are probably one of the only provinces that have the tightest restrictions left in the country.
Well, we got pretty badly hit.
We did, yeah.
Let's call it what it is. And
when they're talking about jumping to stage three, a lot of people said they wanted to jump from stage 1 to 3 because our vaccination numbers actually meet stage 3. So both the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, and just Ontario, it's not the country, it's not the federal government that decides what province opens up when they do. It's the Ontario government, or it's the provincial government that does. So those blaming Trudeau, it's actually Ford.
He's making the decisions.
They said the federal government would be vaccination numbers at 75% first dose and at least 20 or 25% second dose. Now, we've at least hit that in Ontario, at least. So we actually could jump to stage 3 if we wanted to. However, our numbers are still hovering around 300 a day.
Well,
much better than it was. Well, still 300 a day.
Like today's numbers, according to online news, was 287 in Ontario.
Yeah. Around 300 a day.
But in one sense, I can understand why they say, okay, let's skip the middle section and just let's get right to the end.
Right.
But I can also understand Ford's hesitancy on wanting to go right to stage 3.
Right.
One, because people have shown us before, you give them a little more freedom,
they go nuts.
They're going to play the fool every time.
Are they hearing that?
Yes, but you allow them to do more things. Now,
when we talk about stage 3, they mean pretty much everything open.
Yeah.
But it's like
back to full meal deal.
Back to like indoor dining, malls, everything at full capacity. Movie theaters opened, casinos opened, like musical theater kind of theater open.
Normal life,
open, so including sports, even professional sports teams. Now I know here they were talking about, we have the CFL here, it's like your NFL in the States. They didn't play at all last year, CFL. They are playing this year, but it's a late start. Now, I think it's August they're starting, and it usually starts around now to July. But if it's August, so it's a bit of a late start, and they're actually shortening the season this year, which is what MLB did last year.
That's true.
So, and I think NHL did too. So, but what they're talking about doing is actually having fans, so in stands for the CFL. Now, that's dependent on what the numbers are like. Now,
That's it.
Ontario continues to be the hardest hit provinces, so it's Quebec, but numbers are better than they were. I mean, not even that long ago, we were close to 4,000 cases a day, so I mean, it's pretty high for, I mean, it's a province is 14 million total, so it's not, it's the biggest province population wise, and actually landmass size too. So, but I mean, it may not seem a lot to some places who have millions, like, California pretty much is our entire country, the population of California. So it may not seem much when you have that large of a population, but it's 14 million, and it's daily. So,
but
now it's much better than that. But now what they're worried about is the Delta variant, which is the former Indian variant, and
the Gamma
now
variant.
the Gamma variant, which they're talking about is what's come off the Delta variant.
So, in a way, I can understand for its hesitancy. Now we've got these new players on the field, quote unquote. And
plus you don't know, like, it pretty much just opened up not that long ago, about a week or so ago. And so they want to give it 21 days because you've got 2 full weeks.
Exactly.
And it's about a 14-day incubation period. So they want to make sure they know it's going to increase numbers somewhat, but they also want to see how well the vaccines are doing.
Yes.
So to see if the vaccines are going to catch it, and so that people won't get seriously ill, like they say you're not supposed to get, And that's why they're being cautious.
And also because you have to look, Ontario is the economic engine in the country.
Yeah, the hub, pretty much.
And if we go into the toilet again,
it can affect the rest of Canada. Sure.
It's got that snowball effect. And he's already battling unshaken ground of how he's handled this.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like how he's handled this.
He started off really well dealing with this, and it's kind of he's kind of flim-flam back and forth.
Well, because at first, a year ago when this all started, he was working well with all levels of government, including cities, not just like Toronto, but all the cities in Ontario, as well as the federal government. And they were all kind of working well together. And then they were not praising each other, but like kind of giving each other props and how they're doing things. Well, now you kind of can tell there's an election coming up in about a year, or less, about a year. Now you're starting to see, the federal government this, federal government this, provincial government this. So now starting to blame and finger pointing.
Well, that's it.
And I mean, those who are really paying attention know that a lot of what's going on is not actually the federal government; it's the provincial government. That's what's keeping this province locked down. It's not the federal government; it's the provincial government. So you can blame Trudeau all you want, but it's actually Fort's fault in that respect. But I mean, I get why. I mean, he's doing it because they want to make sure we're not going to lock down again for like the 4th time.
People would lose their damn minds.
Yeah, because I mean, we're just coming out specifically the GTA area of 7 months of lockdown. So where not much was open at all. Like pick up and deliver, yes, but nothing else. Other areas of the province were open until Boxing Day, or they shut down later. But we've actively been shut down since November here. So now, I mean, they don't want to do it again.
No.
I mean, some businesses are basically closed up because of it, because they can't weather being shut down for months at a time.
The area in which we live, even our little neighborhood, we counted 21 businesses
21 now
that are closed because they were like the victims of this whole pandemic.
Closed. A lot of them are not restaurants. Like the restaurants have been doing okay because they could do delivery and takeout. So and then their patio was able to open like in the summer and stuff. And they're back open now, but so they're not to say they're doing well, but they're surviving.
Yes.
Where hair salons and stuff, they've been closed most of the year. So they've been having it, and some of them have been them who closed because they were only open a week or two in the summer last year,
and then the door got slammed shut on them
closed again. And then now they're supposed to be being able to open earlier. So this Wednesday they're allowed to open.
Yes.
So this Sunday stay open, which would be nice for them. Same with retail.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've missed a huge pocket of retail over Christmas. They had to be closed. Like, yes, they could do delivery, but a lot of people, specifically the types of shops around us, you kind of have to go in and look at stuff. I mean, you can't go in and say, oh, I kind of want to give for grandma, but I'm not sure what I want. I mean, or whatever, It's kind of hard to do that. You can't, I mean, and a lot of small businesses don't have websites or they don't have stuff for sale. They can't order it online. A lot of small businesses don't have that. You have in this day and age. Now you see why, but with this pandemic, but a lot don't have that. So either they can't afford it. It's a lot to do both. Because I used to work for a business that did both. They sold online and they actually had a brick and mortar store too. So and they juggled. I did the online inventory, stuff like that, as well as the inventory for the store. It's a lot to do and it's everyday kind of thing. So I mean, if you're not used to doing that, it takes a while to adjust to it. So and they just don't do that. At least for bigger stores, they have staff that can do that, or they have a third party doing it. So, but it's hard for them with this. So I mean, they might want to have to adjust now if this is any indication.
Well, that's it. This has been a costly learning lesson for businesses big and small. And
then you've got other businesses like Wonderland, which is a lot of people know this, but some of you don't. You've heard of Cedar Point in Ohio. It's owned by Cedar Fair. It also owns Canada's Wonderland. So, and it's actually one of their flagships, one of their biggest parks is Wonderland. So, and it was not open at all last year.
No,
they tried to do like what Cedar Point and a lot of the ones in states were allowed to open last year at like a reduced capacity with
with protocols in place. Yeah.
And so Wonderland, Canada's Wonderland, was trying to do the same thing.
And the government said no way.
They said no. And I mean, they did try to fight it, but because I mean, it's a big park.
Oh, and, it's a huge space. Yeah,
it's a huge space. I mean, they could have done it probably safely. So I'm not like that's probably one of the things I think. I don't know. I guess they're thinking in lines. It's really hard to space people out.
That's true.
Far, and some of the lines of Wonderland are kind of enclosed. So that's I think why. It's not necessarily the ride part or walking around. There's some of the rides have enclosures, kind of like Disney World, Disneyland do. So, or some of it's outside, but then you kind of come in a bit, not completely enclosed in a building, but it is somewhat enclosed. You're pretty close together. It's hard to space.
Yeah, and that exactly.
So I think that's why. But, I think they probably could have done something.
I think they could have done something.
But, and like they were doing it. Pretty sure it was Cedar Fair or Cedar Point. They had to wear masks. I know you did at Disney World.
Yeah.
So you could have done that, but oh well. But they are going to be allowed to open this year.
Which is great.
Weekend.
That's
Not
right.
this weekend, the coming weekend.
That's right. And
so they're allowed to open.
So Canada Day weekend.
Yes, Canada Day open. They'll be allowed to open actually Wednesday if they want to.
So.
Which is nice because they'll hit the Canada Day weekend.
And that will be, hopefully that'll be a big money earner for them.
I'm sure it will be. And like with other ones, you have to book your tickets in advance. You have to reserve them.
Yeah.
It's specific capacity per day and all that kind of stuff. Doing basically what they're doing with Cedar Point, but I'm not sure how Ohio is doing. And if they're open up, I'd have to look that up and see if that's the case in Ohio and how Cedar Point's doing it. But I think they are still doing COVID protocols there. Last I read.
You know what? I think probably that's what I would do until we got the all clear.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing better.
Yeah.
And so our areas and states, but there's still some hot spots.
Yes.
And in fact, actually, when we moved to stage 1, there was a city, I think it's Waterloo, Kitchener-Waterloo area stayed. They're not in stage 1. They are still actually completely shut down because they had spikes.
Yeah, and that's a better way to deal with it. If it's had an influx of new cases, you don't open it up, you cool it out,
Right.
then you move forward.
Of course, then people there might come. I mean, Kitchener's not that far technically. It's just outside technically the GTA. It's kind of part of the GTA, but it's so it's not that far. I mean, from us,
No.
or really anywhere that's deemed GTA. So I mean, like, it wouldn't be that far for them to come. So I mean, one of the things that they worried about is people when they have the multi-region.
Yes.
Who are
The region
color-coded.
Yeah.
People travel to regions that were open from, say, the GTA, which was closed. They go like, to like outside, like to York region, Bond, like kind of thing. Now, for those who don't know, it's not that far from here. It's just it's slightly outside of our region, but not that far to travel. So
and look at the mess that causes.
Well, yeah, it increases phone numbers, so they just shut all problems down. So now that's what you worry about, because now we're just still not in stage one. The whole rest of Ontario is in stage one, I think, except for one other area, which might be the Timmins, which is far north.
I believe so, yeah.
Ontario. And I think it's Porcupine area might still not be in stage one, but they also had an increase in numbers. So,
and that's air's awful dry. Sorry, guys.
Team is hot here.
We're kind of having a bit of a
heat wave
right now. But that's just prudent. That's just prudent management. Like you've had an influx of cases. Sorry, we're not moving you forward.
It doesn't prevent them from.
No.
They're not like other places. I think Quebec did it. And I think the Maritime provinces did it. If one area was closed, you actually cannot travel outside your area to go somewhere else that's open. That hasn't been in effect here in Ontario. So people, I mean, individual restaurants and hair salons, gyms, all that kind of stuff have, some of these you have to book in advance. So you had to kind of show you're from that area, for example.
That's right.
Book.
Yeah.
So, or reserve. So, and then some restaurants, if you showed up, they'd ask for your ID. So, and then they turn you away if you weren't local. And you're out of the region. But not all are doing that because obviously they need the money. So
of course.
They don't necessarily want to turn people away. So.
It's that catch-22. We don't want you, but we want you.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, pretty much. And the region are pretty militant, like not that like the authorities are keeping people out, but the residents don't necessarily want people from other regions traveling.
Oh my God!
Specifically, like
cottage country.
Cottage country specifically does not want people from the GTA traveling there. It's like they're pretty vocal about it too on social media.
Very much so.
Yeah, they're like, well, give me one this is done, but stay away.
Yeah. Exactly.
And the problem with that is people own cottages there who live in cities, and what, you're going to keep them out of they own the property. You can't keep them away from their own property.
I know Bracebridge, where I grew up, they said, okay, if you have a cottage, that's fine. If you're going to go to the cottage,
stay there.
Stay there.
Yeah.
Don't come to the town, just stay where you are.
Right.
Some are doing it, some are not.
Some are respecting it.
Yeah.
But there are a lot not. I mean, there's actually a live stream, you look it up, of it's a town called Wasaga Beach. It's north of us, cottage country. And there's like live streams of the beach. And it's always packed. And now a lot of people are like, now of course it's hot, so it's one of the nicer beaches around us and close to us. I mean, granted, Toronto does have beaches, and so does our city, but which actually are beaches. But
but this is a big
just a
spot
nicer
to go.
beach kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's out of the way, and it's actually owned by the province. So it's kind of weird how it's set up. The beach itself, it's 14 kilometers long. It's freshwater.
Yeah.
the beach is kind of split. Like if you've got the Long Beach, but it's kind of split down, not quite down the middle, sort of along the length of it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, if I'm right, the part toward the water, I think, is province owned,
And the part
and the other part is
is the
city
city
owned.
owned.
So, like, they're responsible for it. Although the whole part is a national park, like not a national park, it's a provincial park. So really, it's really convoluted. I might be wrong. I might have had that reversed.
But
Whereas
either way,
even so, it's if you go into the parks, they're separated by beach numbers.
mm-hmm.
You'll see it's an Ontario provincial park, so they get funding. So our taxes go to pay for this beach,
Yes.
but it's also paid for by their town taxes. So part of the beach is town owned, like the town's responsible for its maintenance and all that kind of stuff. The rest of it is responsibility of the province. So
Mm-hmm.
what's interesting is because everybody in Ontario pays taxes, goes toward maintaining this beach, you kind of can't keep them out
No.
because they pay for it. So,
But oh my God, what
you know,
a
even though the locals live there, you understand it, but it's really messed up. And that
Yeah.
way, I'm sure there's like state parks and stuff that are very similar to that. Like there's locals near it or who live literally in it, basically. But so they don't want people out of town because, you know, COVID.
Yeah, it's such
But-
a catch-22
But people
situation.
could say, hello, I'm helping pay to maintain
Yeah.
the beach you would get to enjoy year round. I get to come too, or else you wouldn't have a nice
That's
beach.
it.
You know?
So
So what do you do, kind of thing, you know?
so my question is to you, like, okay, we've seen both sides, and
Yeah.
we've seen all
We
the.
get tourists here too.
Oh, yeah,
It's very, very
Um,
tourist town where we're in. Too.
and we're only gonna get worse as the month goes
Yeah, it's
on.
getting developed too.
But my question to you is, you've looked at all the data like that
Yeah.
has come in currently today.
Right.
Do you feel, in your opinion, that we could safely circumvent step 2 and go to
And
step
go to
3?
Step 3. It's quite the jump.
Yeah.
Because what's going to be open in step 2 and step 3, it's quite different than what we have now. I mean, step 3 is fully open. Everything's open.
Mm-hmm.
For step 2, it's kind of like malls can now open.
Yeah.
They initially thought indoor dining. They had initially put that in step 2, but now I think they've moved it to step 3. I'm
Yeah.
sure I saw it was in step 2, but now I think they've moved it to step 3.
I think it was in the first round of like when it first came out. The idea was that, like you said,
Yeah.
in stage 2.
That they would have the stage 2, but now I'm pretty sure they've moved it to stage 3. Because now we're in the summer months kind
Yeah.
of thing. But salons, anything that you can wear a mask with
Mhm.
can open. Other things if you can't wear a mask can open still.
Yeah.
Movie theaters, all that still have to stay closed. Amusement parks, zoos, anything outside water parks, they can all open.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. Their indoor stuff, just like we said, Wonderland has indoor theaters and stuff too. They can't open.
No.
Yet. But it's a lot. Just a lot different.
Yeah.
See, the vaccination rates right now say you could potentially go to stage 3, but
Mm-hmm.
now you've got the Delta variant, which I think is about 60% of the cases here now are the Delta variant, and now you've got the Gamma variant.
Okay.
So I think they should wait and see
Mm-hmm.
what this opening does. Hasn't even been, I don't think it's been about 2 weeks yet.
Yeah.
And see what the numbers are like. And then see what the numbers are like for 2. Because we did open earlier
Yes,
for both stage 1 and now stage 2.
that's true.
You know, I mean, we're starting to get more vaccinations.
Mm-hmm.
It's really going up. So, you know, because we're getting more and more in.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's what they're doing. They may not have to wait a full 21 days, but at least do 14 at least to see
Okay.
what these numbers are like. And if these vaccines are going to hold true and prevent serious illness. So far, I've been hearing people who have gotten it, even after fully being vaccinated, most of them have not been hospitalized. They've been asymptomatic or very mild.
Okay.
And that's what the vaccine is supposed to do.
Okay.
So, but is that going to be the majority of cases? That's what we need to know.
That's it.
Now, we can look to what's going on in the States and other places who have better fully vaccination rates than we do at the time and see what's happening there. The numbers there are still fairly high.
Yes.
You know, granted, I know the States has over 300 million, and each state, some of them are more than our country combined, and same with like UK and stuff like that. But I mean, Tokyo's seeing an uptick, but they don't have the same kind of vaccination rates as we do, or even the States does. So they actually have a very low vaccination rate. So you can't even necessarily take that. You have to take into consideration the ones that have similar vaccination rates as we do, if not better, and see who are more open. We can really look at our neighbors.
Yes.
A lot of states are pretty much fully open. You know, see how are they doing? How are the numbers doing? That can not give us an indication if we could safely move to stage 3.
That makes sense.
You know?
That makes sense. Myself, I think we're going at the right speed. We need to go.
Yeah.
I think we're proceeding with caution, and we should, because we got caught with our proverbial pants down.
Our third or fourth shutdown.
You know, and I can understand why the premier is a little gun shy about rushing to the finish line.
Right.
You know,
it actually costs them more money, businesses, to close down, open up, close down, open up, close down, open up. I mean, it's harder for them to actually keep doing that than to just stay closed.
Yes.
So enough with the open and close.
and I understand, like, with businesses, like we know we spoke to a business owner here in our city, and he was using the programs and that was available, but he'd like to be able to open and stay open.
And stay open and not have to worry about using the government program. They have to actually pay that back.
Yeah.
It's not grants, not free money.
No.
They actually have to pay it back, and it'll be on the taxes and stuff. Now, he's lucky. He's the landlord, so he owns a building. But so he needs the taxes and the insurance, stuff like that on the building and stuff. So, and I don't know if he's still paying his employees or not, but.
You know, so.
You know, because they do have a wage subsidy program as well. So.
Everyone needs to calm down. Just in my opinion, we need to calm down a little bit. We're doing the right thing.
Right.
We're proceeding. We proceeded further and better than we expected.
We're actually where we were about a year ago.
You know, we
haven't really proceeded past.
We kind of boomeranged back to where we were.
Right. I mean, we've been to the part where we're at stage 2 before, where we had like malls and stuff open at like a capacity. They're open.
Yeah.
I think it's a 25% capacity.
Yes.
And other things can go to 50% capacity. So like retail stores that are already open and restaurants and stuff, they can go now to 50% capacity. And then I think big malls and all indoor kind of stores, I think are 25% capacity, something like that.
Yes. I believe that's stage 2, correct?
That's stage 2, which is what we're going into on
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
So I would suggest let's see how we do after the not 21 days. Let's see after 2 weeks. Let's see where our numbers are sitting, because we also have to think all the kids are gonna be out of school here in Ontario
anyway, but
like officially.
Well, they're doing online right now.
Yeah.
But they're done, I think, Wednesday.
June 29th.
29th, so Tuesday. They finished Tuesday.
Well, public school kids, the high school kids may have been.
They would have been doing exams. High school.
So you got to figure July, they're pretty much going to be
done.
Done.
They'll be on vacation.
So let's see what happens in the 2-week time frame. Now that everyone's kind of out and about,
They're already out and about, let's face it.
You know,
They are here.
let's see if there's a change in our numbers.
They have said they know there will be. There'll
Yeah.
be an uptick just because there's more people indoors. Like once you open the indoor spaces like malls,
You're gonna have
you're going to have an
people.
uptick. So,
Yeah.
but what they want to see is if even if you have an uptick in numbers, it's not necessarily not that it's a good thing, but it's not necessarily reason that they have to shut everything
Yeah.
down. Because if the vaccines are doing what they say they'll do,
Yeah, that's correct.
they should be okay for most people.
So we're both kind of on the same.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't think you need to jump from 1 to 3 right now, because right now everything's outdoor based anyway.
Yeah.
So let's see with malls and
All that.
hair salons and stuff like that first. I mean, I get it. Maybe there's here not really been open in a year. Casinos haven't been open in a year at all since all this started. Actually, over a year.
Yeah.
Not since March 2020. So I get it. I mean, but you're talking. Some of these are pretty big. I mean, a lot of the casinos here are actually owned by the province, anyways.
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's just really the employees kind of thing that you think about. They may have moved on or whatever at that point. I
Well-
don't so. But if they're government employees, like there's a couple of the bigger casinos here are run by the OLG, which is government based, so
So
they tend to still get paid, government employees.
of course, I'm a government employee.
He's been working though.
I have been working, but I do know other people in my field
Right.
in other areas.
That were laid off.
They were laid off, and if you weren't permanent, like some of them,
Didn't work.
you didn't work.
They have since come back, I assume.
So I understand moving kind of at the pedestrian pace that we're moving. Caution is good.
Right.
People need to not be in such
A hurry.
a hurry.
Because you can look at other places that did that and see kind of the disaster
Oh,
that happened. I mean, look at India. I think it's a fairly low vaccination rate there too, from what I understand. And they make their vaccines.
exactly.
Actually done some of the ones from there, but but they were doing okay
Yeah.
for a long time.
And then they just
Because the numbers were down, they just opened everything back up again. And then you've probably seen it on the news that it was a disaster, with so many cases and so many deaths and stuff. So they don't want that here.
no.
We don't even have as much population they do, and we're better vaccinated than they are, but there's still so many that are not.
That's it. That's it.
So what do? You just don't, you throw them to the wolves. You know what I mean? And that's what they're trying not to do.
No.
It's the vaccinated ones not necessarily going to be an issue for them. Even those that are partially vaccinated,
Mm-hmm.
it's still, you're not fully vaccinated, but you'll still have better protection than those that are not at all vaccinated. There's still quite a few who are not at all vaccinated, whether because they can't or they choose not to.
Yeah.
So right now, really thinking about it, open too quickly, that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
You could be, okay, each man to themselves. Have at it.
It's the Hunger Games. Good luck.
Yeah, that's what one of our news says. Or she's the leader of the opposition party here. She's Andrea Harbaugh. She's NDP, and it's like the Hunger Games,
Yeah.
especially looking for vaccines, because it's been a treat trying to find vaccine appointments.
And that has been a frustrating thing. As
It's better now. But
it's better now, and I think that's kind of why
somewhat.
people are like, let's get the vaccines into arms, then let's get to the
Then
finish
we'll
line.
see. Yeah, then we'll see.
Yeah. And
That's what they're actually trying to encourage people to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
So that we can actually open up faster,
mhm,
because they know there's going to be people they're not going to force anything, no matter what people are telling other people or what they're reading on some websites. You're not being forced to be vaccinated here.
No.
I don't think any country is forcing
No.
their people to get vaccinated, but they're trying to get as many as possible, just so that we can open everything. So those that don't get vaccinated, it won't overwhelm the healthcare system if they do get sick, kind of thing. So that's really what they're trying to do. But I don't know, like, we're not technically, we're at the minimal to open at stage 3.
Yeah.
But we haven't even hit stage 2 yet. So I don't know. I think we should give it a cut and see what the numbers are like. We don't want an India here kind of thing. We don't want to open up too fast and then have it just go, have to shut it all down again.
Well, like we were talking, just because we can doesn't mean we should.
Yeah.
You know, just because we've hit targets doesn't mean we should skip over important steps.
Right. Some people like to say, you know, say you're a doctor or a scientist or something, and know, hey, I've learned all this. So now, like, say you're a med student. Oh, well, I know all there is to know about surgery. Maybe I should do brain surgery. You know, I mean, we're just skipping a few steps here. You know, I mean, like, sometimes you got to learn from those steps. And that's what we really should be doing. Is this, what can we do so that we can stay permanently open, so that we won't get overwhelmed, that people won't die from this, you know, or lose their businesses or anything else.
Exactly.
To stay open. Because it's endless opening and closing. It's not helping.
Because then you're going to have just pure anarchy. People aren't going to listen to what the government's having. They're not listening now.
We're not listening now. So.
But then, you know, it'll be like Miss Horwath said, it's going to be like the Hunger Games. But
it is when you're trying to get vaccines.
That's a whole different episode. We've talked about that.
How it's been to try to get vaccines.
So, like, I think we're both on the same page with it. We're kind of going at the right speed. We think we can shorten it, the wait time a little bit.
We might. Well, we have the last, like we said, we've shortened it to open in stage 1, and they've shortened it to open, not by a lot, maybe a week, a few days, to shorten it to stage 2. So, I mean, I can see both sides of it.
Yep.
But I understand the caution, because they've had to shut down at least 3 times because they opened too quickly.
Yeah.
And with the way the variants keep coming, they want to see how the vaccines do against them too. So it's better to see instead of just, okay, let's open it. Well, people want to go to the casino now, so let's open everything back up.
Yeah, good luck.
You know, and then you have a huge disaster on your hands. So, I mean, I think it's better. We've been doing this 15 months now already. So
I think we can afford to be a little more patient.
I mean, and see, the thing is, with those who are not vaccinated, too, they might actually end up having a problem if they want to travel.
Yeah.
Too. So I know there are countries that are not necessarily going to accept they've been approved that you've been vaccinated. So, and I know this is a problem here in Canada. They've approved the AstraZeneca vaccine, but it's not approved in the States. I'm not sure where else. I think it's approved otherwise. In Europe, it is, but it's not approved in the States. And here, Sputnik, which is the Russian one, and Sinopharm, which is the Chinese one, is not approved here. So the problem you're starting to have is those that are wanting to come here, you've had, say, Sputnik 5, I think it is, and or Sinopharm, can't come here because it's not an accepted vaccine.
Hey, you're quarantined.
Yeah, or you're not coming at all.
You're not,
because it's not accepted here. And then in the States, because AstraZeneca is not accepted there, they're finding those things that they're not going to be allowed to do.
Yeah.
Even if you may be able to go into the States, but you may not be able to do some things. Like I know
Bruce Springsteen has a concert coming up.
Has a concert on Broadway. If you have AstraZeneca, you can't get tickets to it. Same thing with Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Yep.
If you're AstraZeneca, you can't go get tickets to that. So I mean, that's another problem that they're finding.
Exactly.
Depending on what vaccine you've gotten, if it's been approved in the country you want to go to,
Yeah.
you may not be able to do some stuff.
And see, it's
That's another problem
yeah, that's true.
with that. That's another topic. It's just really, I don't know. I mean, I know some people, that's the only vaccines they can get, like especially like Sputnik 5 and Sinopharm.
Mm-hmm.
Some countries were really only offering them. But say you're an expat of either the States or Canada, or you travel to the Canada or the States, or there are other countries that didn't approve it. Well, you're either not going or you're not doing much when you get there.
Yeah. You're looking at where you wanted to go through the window.
Right. But I have heard, I don't know if it's just rumors, they're talking about it, that the border restrictions between Canada and the States may start to ease in July. Not July 1st, but later.
Somewhere in July.
Around the 21st or so, which is when stage 3 is supposed to happen. So it could happen sooner than that. But they're talking about, they're already in talks about what that means.
Yeah.
About they're talking right now that fully vaccinated will not have to quarantine here.
Okay.
I don't know if that'll be the case in the States. I'm sure that will come out. And vice versa, like returning home, I'm not sure. If you're fully vaccinated, at least here you won't have to quarantine.
Okay.
For 14 days. If you're not fully vaccinated, you still have to quarantine. Or be only one dose. So that kind of thing. And then also, again, like we were just talking about, what will you be able to do in each country? It also depends on the kind of vaccine you've got.
That's it.
See, the States and us, I think we have pretty much the same vaccines that we've approved. The only difference is the States hasn't, not yet, they may not have approved AstraZeneca. We have. We both have Johnson & Johnson approved. So that, once you've gotten Johnson & Johnson here, probably could do stuff in the States and vice versa. But it's just AstraZeneca that will be the problem.
Yeah,
so far.
Exactly. AstraZeneca is kind of the...
But they're actually, I heard they're working on maybe, because really it's kind of the same vaccine with Johnson & Johnson, but same technology. But I think they're working on maybe if
tweaking it a little bit.
Or allowing people, if they've been fully vaccinated with AstraZeneca, being able to go to the States. Like, if they accept Johnson & Johnson, why not AstraZeneca? So
that's fair.
The same idea.
Yeah.
So actually, it's a little bit better protection if you look at the stats. But
that's true. That's true.
But not as good as the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines. But
so
yeah, I don't know. I think. Oh wait, for now, I mean, just to see what happens. It's not that far out, really.
So we'd like to put this out to you guys on YouTube, especially those of you who live in Ontario. How do you feel? Do you feel we should
skip ahead from stage 1 to 3?
3, or are we doing
the
right thing by just kind of taking slow and steady? Let us know in the comments below, because we'd love to hear like the pros and cons on both sides. What you think? You heard from us what our position on it. Caution with this. Caution is the best way to go. We are improving, yes, but it's still a cautionary tale.
Yeah, if India's any.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
I'd rather see us go slow and steady and get to the finish line, everybody intact.
Right.
We
don't want to lose any more people. That's, I guess, the bottom line.
Yeah.
I mean, even those who don't want to get vaccinated for whatever reason, it's really to protect you as well.
Yes.
So that whether you believe it's just the flu or not, I mean, statistic-wise, it's kind of proving that that's not the flu. It's really all that. Those who are unvaccinated for whatever reason, those that only have the 1 dose right now, and even for those who have 2, there have been cases, very rare, but there have been cases of people who have been fully vaccinated who have still died. So not often, and there's usually a reason for it
Yeah.
with them. But it's just, I don't know. I guess because it's new and you're really testing out this vaccine still.
Mm-hmm.
We really have to see if they're actually going to do what they say they're going to do. So
I
why
agree.
push it if we don't have to push it?
Well, that's it. Let's
See if they're actually going to do what they say.
Exactly. Let's take it easy. Let's take our foot off the gas a little bit.
Yeah.
And let's just coast. Let's see how we do through July into August.
We'll see. They're talking about stage 3 by the end of July. So I mean that's just normal. Like that's what they were normally thinking anyway. So it's picking up speed. It's just that would be when it would go to stage 3. So I mean that's still most of your summer. You know, I mean most of the big things here are open. I mean a lot of festivals here are closed.
Yeah.
Like you might have heard the CNE is closed. That was closed this year, canceled this year. A lot of things are closed this year.
Yeah.
All that big festivals are canceled, but like Pride would have been this weekend, Pride Parade. That was canceled here. You know, there's like big festivals like Taste of Danforth. Haven't heard about Busker Fest in Toronto yet. That's pretty big.
Or here.
That's usually August. Haven't heard anything yet about that. But most of the Canada Day stuff has been canceled. It's virtual.
And in Canada Day in our area has been shifted to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so October.
So in October, that's going to be a chilly day to.
Not even Canada Day. Thanksgiving instead.
Patriotic. It's a patriotic turkey.
Thanksgiving, yeah. But I mean, like Thursday, you can still celebrate.
Yeah.
It's just they're not doing the big gatherings that they would normally. We normally have a parade, fireworks, and beef stick and that. No, and that's been canceled. Well, it hasn't technically been canceled. It's been moved.
Yeah, it's
been moved to
later in the
October.
year.
Our Thanksgiving's in October. But
I had something I was going to say to you, and
no.
Don't you hate that, guys, when you have something you want to ask or say, and it just it's gone.
Yeah, I gotta love live.
But
that happens.
I
when
think
you get older, it happens.
I think we will close for now.
All right.
Let us know in the comments below. Like we said,
are you in Ontario? I mean,
are you in Ontario?
What do you think? I mean, you could be in another province. You don't have this problem. Or you could be in the States. I mean, I think most of the states are pretty open. I don't know if they all are.
Let us know.
But let us know what they're doing in your area.
Exactly. Because do you
think they're doing enough, or do you think they're moving too slow?
Because we are a global community, and the only way we're going to learn about each other through this is if we talk to each other.
Right.
So.
And who knows, maybe your country or a state, province, doing something they could do here that might work better than what we're
doing.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You never know.
The exchange of ideas. Exactly.
Yeah.
Guys, please let's keep the conversation going. And thank you for coming and doing the show with me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
And talking about this topic that's kind of been on everyone's mind as of late.
Yeah, I think opening has been on people's minds for a good 15 months now, but yeah, and more so because you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel now. So. And
that's what we're hearing from our government. It's like the light at the end of the tunnel is getting closer. The light at the end of the tunnel is hang in there. But people are like, I want to get to the end of the tunnel now.
Yeah. I want it open now.
The
problem is this virus hasn't disappeared yet.
No.
And chances are it's never going to. It's just, it's learning to live with it and adjusting how we do things to live with it so that we don't keep losing people or even people get really serious illnesses of this, and it's long term.
That's it.
I mean, I've heard, and you might have too, and I've told you different, you may have read stuff, that there's been some pretty horrible after effects.
Oh, of course.
It's not even just the deaths.
No.
It's the people who have the long COVID and the stuff they're dealing with now. I mean, if we can even prevent that,
yes,
it's a win. If we means we have to keep everything closed another month, not
So-
everything, but like the rest of everything was closed,
Mhm.
then okay. I mean,
Yeah,
if
let's
we
do
can
it.
do that. If we can minimize it as best we can.
Mhm.
That's the goal.
So
Hopefully, anyway.
that is the goal, hopefully. So guys, if you like the show, please subscribe, hit that notification bell,
Up there or down
Okay.
here, depending on what you watch.
depending on how you watch it, and you will get notified. And give us a thumbs up. You'll get notified when myself and this lovely lady are going to sit here in front of you.
Follow
and
us on Twitter too.
follow us on Twitter and on TikTok.
TikTok and I think Facebook. We don't have anything on TikTok as of yet, but follow us anyway.
Follow us.
And I think Facebook too. You have Facebook?
We don't officially have a Facebook page as of yet, but
Not yet. We'll get there.
we're gonna get there. But please, let's keep the conversation going. Let us know what you think. What
And what do
you
you think and topic you'd like us to cover?
because if
COVID or otherwise.
COVID or otherwise, exactly.
Yeah.
And if it intrigues both of us, we may discuss it on the air, and we will give you credit.
Yeah.
So, guys, have a great week. Be safe. Be healthy. Stay cool if you're in areas that are going through heat waves.
I know there's a few that are, so stay
You know.
safe, especially out west. Stay extremely
Be
safe.
safe.
Man, I've heard those numbers are ridiculously high.
And
Oh, it's hot here.
Four Towers and I look forward to sitting down and having another coffee and a chat with
And having
you.
you guys join us.
Have a great week, guys. Talk to you soon. And talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.